Begin your quiet transformation now as we reveal the 11 silent deletions your peace demands. This is not another list of loud actions or performative changes for the world to see. This is a map for the interior, a guide to the subtle, powerful art of removal, conducted in the sanctuary of your own mind and spirit. The most profound revolutions often happen without a single word being spoken to the outside world. Welcome to Stoic Mindset Mastery. You've clicked on this video because a quiet voice within already knows the truth. Certain things must go, not with drama, not with fanfare, but with the silent, firm resolve of someone who has finally decided to reclaim their inner territory. You are tired of the mental clutter, the emotional debts, and the invisible weights that slow your progress and cloud your clarity. This isn't about what you will announce to others. It's about the profound, grounding power of quiet subtraction. What you remove in silence creates the space for everything that truly matters to grow. I urge you to stick with this until the very end, because what we are about to discuss will systematically reshape your inner landscape, providing a new lens of clarity and a renewed, unshakable sense of personal control. This is an audit of the soul, and I ask you, are you truly ready to begin? First, we address the deep and common urge to justify yourself to those who have hurt you. This impulse feels like honesty, like standing up for yourself, but in the context of disrespect, it is often a trap. You owe no detailed explanation, no exhaustive debate to someone who has consciously or carelessly disregarded your peace. Consider the sting of a trusted friend's betrayal. The immediate reaction is to confront, to dissect, to demand a reason. But this emotional expenditure drains you and rarely changes them. It gives their actions continued rent-free space in your mind. The stronger, quieter move is to simply step away. Your personal growth and peace are the non-negotiable priority. If they later return seeking your energy or assistance, a polite but firm no is a complete sentence. You may offer a brief reason if you must, but you are not obligated to reopen the courtroom of your past pain. Trust that time, not your arguments, will reveal the full truth of their actions. Your dignified silence is not an admission of weakness. It is the boundary you built when words had proven useless. It is the ultimate respect for your own limits. Second, we must examine the goals that no longer serve your authentic path. As we journey through life, we accumulate ambitions like souvenirs. Some are truly ours, inspired by deep passion, while others are picked up through expectation, comparison, or a faded version of who we once were. The mature and courageous move is to shed these quietly. Do not announce your pruning to the world. This can invite unsolicited opinions or create unnecessary pressure. This is a private negotiation between you and your future self. Make subtle adjustments to your daily actions. Redirect resources of time and focus with discretion. Let your evolving character, not public chatter, guide this evolution. The world will see the results in time, but the process of editing your own aspirations is a sacred, solitary practice. Discreetly shift your energy toward what genuinely aligns with the person you are becoming, not the person you once thought you should be. Third, we come to a deeply personal point: the intimate details of relationships that have ended. Whether it involves family, friendship, or romance, the true closure is a private matter between you and the other person. Broadcasting the why, cataloging the faults, or seeking validation for your pain from an external audience invites gossip, distortion, and dramatically complicates your own healing process. That powerful impulse to vent, to have others side with you, often signals a wound that still requires your own private, compassionate attention. It shows the hurt is still raw and seeking external balm. The work is to process it internally. Write in a private journal, reflect during a long walk, or sit with the discomfort until it loses its sharp edge. Honor what was meaningful, protect the dignity of all involved, including your own, and move forward with the hard-earned wisdom held close to your chest. The story of that relationship becomes a chapter in your book, not a headline for public consumption. Fourth, we tackle the temptation of public displays of deep anger, tension, frustration, and injustice will come. This is life. But true strength is not measured by the volume of your reaction. It is measured by your ability to channel that volcanic surge of energy into constructive, forward-moving action rather than unleashing it for a temporary, costly audience. Your nervous system and your character learn resilience not when you explode, but when you consciously convert rage into motion toward your purpose. This requires being fiercely private in your initial processing. Feel the heat of the emotion fully, then ask, what can this energy build or fix? Go for a punishing run, pour yourself into a demanding project, clean your space with intensity. Fix the actual problem, don't just announce its existence. Have you ever deeply regretted a public angry outburst? Now, can you recall a time you regretted channeling that same fire into a rigorous workout or a tangible accomplishment? The latter leaves you stronger, not ashamed. Find your silent physical release. Fifth, and this is a subtle thief of peace, harboring and sharing your negative opinions of others. Even the act of holding them in your mind comes at a cost to your own serenity. Ask yourself, what portrait of your own character are you painting when you habitually critique someone else's? In any social setting, you have a choice. You can contribute something meaningful to the discussion, or you can choose to subtly poison the atmosphere just to offload your own judgment. If you genuinely dislike someone, the intelligent path is not to broadcast it. Practice graceful distance or master the skill of civil, minimal coexistence. Mature conduct is about wisely managing your interactions, not about publishing your private judgments. Make a conscious choice to release these internal verdicts, demonstrating consistent politeness and fairness even amidst personal dislike is a powerful display of true inner strength and adaptability. It proves you are governed by principle, not by petty reaction. Sixth, we confront the universal habit of constant comparison. This is the mental trap of measuring your own raw, behind-the-scenes footage against someone else's carefully produced and edited highlight reel. It is a guaranteed theft of your unique joy and a direct sabotage of your focus. This habit fractures your attention and steadily corrodes your sense of self-worth as you focus on an imagined lack instead of your very real, if different, strengths. The potent antidote is a disciplined practice of gratitude for your own specific progress. Your life path, with its distinct challenges, timing, and triumphs, is literally incomparable. The dream another person is living is not the dream meant for you. Chasing its shadow only leads you off your own trail. Consciously redirect that wasted energy into tangible steps for your own growth. Your journey is the only one you are meant to complete. Seventh, we address the modern plague of mindless social media consumption. Let's create a metaphor. Picture your actual life as a unique, unfinished manuscript that you are the sole author of, day by day. Now, imagine social media platforms as a chaotic, blindingly bright, infinite library where everyone is shouting excerpts from their own manuscripts, but only the most dramatic, successful, or polished paragraphs. The primary danger here is the constant, unfair, and utterly misleading comparison it forces. You compare your first draft to their published bestseller cover. The strategic solution is radical intentionality. Enter these digital spaces with a specific time-bound purpose: to learn one thing, to check on a friend, to find a specific piece of information. Then you leave. Set clear boundaries. Specific times for checking, not a constant ambient scroll. Develop a gut check question. Am I here to learn something useful, or am I here to escape and compare? If you notice your mood dipping, your anxiety rising, or a sense of lack creeping in after a session, that is your personal signal, not of failure, but of saturation. Log off and return decisively to your tangible world. Read a physical book, walk in nature, work on a skill. This is how you reclaim the authorship of your own beautiful, unrepeatable story. Eighth, we dig into the exhausting, compulsive need to be liked by everyone. Imagine for a moment the sheer mental and emotional energy you would free up if you finally stepped off the invisible stage, where you are constantly performing, editing, and adjusting yourself for a hypothetical audience's approval. The relief would be profound and immediate. When you make choices, large or small, based primarily on gaining external validation, you are forcing yourself to wear a costume that never quite fits and is always uncomfortable. Recall your most genuinely happy and satisfied moments. In those instances, you were likely acting from your core values, expressing a true preference indifferent to the applause or criticism of the crowd. That is authenticity. Start with small, daily choices. Get in the habit of asking a simple, clarifying question. Am I doing this because it aligns with me, or because I think it will make me more likable to them? Cultivate self-respect through your own accomplishments and keep your promises to yourself. Curate an inner circle that appreciates your genuine, unedited self, not a performance. Remember, your own inner voice is the only critic you cannot silence, and whose approval actually matters. Ninth, we return to relationships, focusing on the discipline of protecting their intimacy. A deep connection in any form is akin to a private chamber you build with another person. It holds shared secrets, vulnerabilities, dreams, and memories. Its end, therefore, deserves a level of confidentiality that honors what it once was. Revealing the private pains, specific reasons, or personal shortcomings that led to the dissolution to outsiders invites distortion, unwanted opinions, and significantly delays your own healing process. It keeps the wound open and public. Honor the significance of what was shared by fiercely protecting its privacy. Process the grief, the anger, and the lessons within the confines of your own mind, or with an impartial professional, like a therapist. This quiet, respectful stewardship of a past chapter is a profound mark of emotional maturity. It shows respect for the other person's humanity, and more importantly, deep respect for the sanctity of your own heart and experiences. 10th, we must learn to identify and release unrealistically high personal standards. Visualize your life as a long voyage across a vast and unpredictable ocean. Your expectations, your ideals, are the sails on your ship. They are necessary to catch the wind and move forward. But what happens if those sails are too large, too rigid for the actual conditions? They will capsize you in storms of frustration, anxiety, and self-criticism when reality fails to match the perfect image. It's crucial to pause and ask, are these punishing standards truly my own, born of my values, or were they inherited from family, absorbed from culture, or copied from a curated online life? Practice the art of acceptance, acceptance of your current chapter, your current abilities, your human pace. Set attainable, celebratory goals that acknowledge incremental growth. Find genuine joy and curiosity in the journey itself, the learning, the striving, the small daily wins, not just in a distant, perfect, and often illusory destination. Smooth and resilient sailing comes from sails skillfully set to the reality of the present wind and waves, not to a fantasy of perfect weather. 11th, and finally, we must dissolve the habit of engaging in gossip and sharing negative news as a social currency. Understand that your words are not just sounds. They are seeds you plant in the garden of your mind and in the shared space around you. Seeds of gossip, criticism, and doom scrolling yield a harvest of mistrust, low vibrational energy, and a distorted, fearful view of the world. Participating in this exchange might feel, in the moment, like social bonding or being in the know, but it is ultimately a trap that diminishes your integrity and the quality of your environment. So how do you step away? It begins with cultivated awareness. If a conversation you are in turns toward toxic gossip or relentless negativity, you have a choice. You can gently steer it toward a neutral or positive topic, or you can offer a single, kind counterpoint about the person being discussed. Before you speak or share a negative story, install a mental gatekeeper question. Would I want this said about me, or would I want this information if it didn't feed my fear? Consciously surround yourself with people who prefer to uplift and discuss ideas rather than tear down individuals. By refusing to participate in this cycle, you accomplish two powerful things. You protect your own inner peace and integrity, and you silently become a cultivator of a more respectful and peaceful environment. To put it simply, plant seeds of understanding and constructive thought, and you will, in time, harvest a life of greater peace. Your journey of silent mastery, of thoughtful subtraction, continues long after this video ends. This is the practice of a lifetime. If what we've explored here resonated with you, if it sparked recognition or provided clarity, I ask you to show your support. It genuinely helps our community grow and tells us what matters to you. Please take a second to like this video, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to Stoic Mindset Mastery. We are here to provide weekly guidance on building unshakable inner strength. Now, I am genuinely curious, as you reflect on these 11 silent deletions, which one stands out to you as the most challenging or the most urgently needed in your life right now? What is the very first thing you feel called to quietly delete? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read them,